What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today we're taking a look at the Thrunite Archer 2AC. There are a couple of flashlights from Thrunite with that Archer 2A name. There's also the V3 as well as the Mini, so I'll link to this specific version in the description of the video. Now, this is a relatively budget-friendly light, especially when you consider the max output of 1018 lumens at $39.99. Right now, as I'm recording this, Amazon has a coupon for 10% off, which gets you down to $36, and no coupon code required. You just checkmark that box, so make sure to look out for that if you plan on ordering this light. Now, this one's an interesting one. It's based on that 2AA platform that we see from a lot of different companies, and this will accept 2AAs. However, it actually ships with a 1000 1600 milliamp battery that's USB-C rechargeable, and so I think that may be proprietary. I'm guessing it's actually just two stacked and wrapped 14500 batteries, but it will accept AA batteries with a lower output if you need to switch that out while you're charging or while waiting for a replacement down the line. And so kind of nice that you can use either power source. And this being 2AA battery layout is going to be a longer flashlight. This is 6.1 inches, but still nice and slim. As you can see, kept it to 0.86 inches in diameter. Aluminum body on this, keeping it relatively lightweight, 3.56 ounces. Knurling in the right places. You can see it here on the tail and in the center. There's some smooth spots, but really the high areas where you're making impact on that flashlight in your grip are knurled nicely and super grippy. We do have a 2-position pocket clip. It's one direction, but you can swap the placement of it. And so I have it up here towards the head of that flashlight. You can see there's another spot here in the center, which you can put the clip in either direction. I don't really use that. I don't like the placement of it. It's just so far from either end that no matter which side you have it facing, you're gonna have so much sticking out of your pocket or the pocket of the bag that you're putting this in. I wish there was actually one more spot here at the tail, but other than that, that's fine. The pocket clip is nice. It's super stout and grips on there nicely, not gonna fall off. It's actually pretty hard to even pull it off. And so if you don't have the pocket clip, there's this one raised area near the switch that has these flat spots. It's going to keep it from rolling around too much. We have a tactical bezel, but not too aggressive, which I like because I'm never actually hitting anyone with my flashlights. More than likely, I'm accidentally getting myself, and so I'm not a huge fan of super aggressive bezels. And this one's tactical without being super aggressive. Tail switch as well as a selector switch. So the tail switch is just your on and off, and the selector changes all of your modes. And it does have a really nice momentary on feature that's easy to press without accidentally activating it. Sometimes it's too kind of finicky and you'll accidentally push it too hard and be in your permanent on. This one's really easy and responsive to use, so it has that nice momentary on, and it does have a memory mode as well. So I had it in high mode, which is what we jumped into immediately, and same thing when we fully press that button and turn this on. But we'll cycle into our low mode first, or actually our Firefly mode, which is basically their moonlight mode, and you can see this is not a bright mode at all at only 0.3 lumens, so even less than we see on a lot of moonlight modes. But this lasts for 27 days, and in really dark environments, it lights up the few feet around you for sure. In this bright environment, it's almost not even visible, but in low light environments, it's enough to see around you. But then we can jump up to our low mode, which is a much more usable. This lights up the area pretty well, 20 lumens, 37 hours on that one, so you still get a great battery life. From there, we have our medium. This one's 213 lumens. Kind of odd, the random numbers on some of these modes. I think most companies just round them, but 213 lumens, 5 hours and 34 minutes on that one. And this is probably my most used mode. It's just enough light to really see around you. Anywhere in the house, it's gonna light up the room. Even outside, it's a nice visible light, throws a decent distance, and lasts for 5 hours and 34 minutes. So nice combo of output and runtime. But we do have a high mode, which jumps all the way up to 1018 lumens. And this is incredibly bright. It only lasts here for 30 seconds before stepping down to 519 lumens. But I think 519 lumens is a nice step down for this. That's one thing I'm always a little bit nitpicky on. That's still double our medium output. So I don't like when stuff steps down too close to your medium output, because then what's the point of having your high mode or turbo mode? And this one doesn't. It steps up to or steps down to double our medium still, so still going to be better. So after that 30 seconds, that 519 lumen mode will last for another 128 minutes, so just over 2 hours. And in this high mode, it's going to have a throw distance of 167 meters. They don't give you the throw distance for every single one, and so don't know what that looks like for some of those smaller beams. But the medium really does throw really nicely. And you can see it has kind of this hot spot in the center. That's what really throws out there. But it's also kind of spilly, and so lights up the area really nicely as well. We're seeing it kind of step down. It's more of a gradual than an immediate snap step down. And so it does kind of spill out nicely for the area around you while still having that tight beam in the center for throwing it out in that distance. Now these are rated for 1.5 meter drops. Haven't dropped this one at all, so haven't really put that through the test. That's something I don't normally purposely test out. Sometimes you accidentally test it out, but I'm not going to go out of my way to destroy these. And so IPA-X8 waterproof resistance, which is waterproof down to 2 meters. And it does come with additional O-rings. In your accessory pack, you have your lanyard, your O-rings, as well as additional caps, which is a really nice touch for both buttons. And so it can be really annoying when you lose those caps. I have one in my first aid kit that I just came across, and I have no idea where the cap is. You'd think it would have stayed in the first aid kit, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And so now it's just that plastic button, which is really annoying. And so it is nice that it includes that as well. And there is a strobe mode as well. I guess I'll show that. I don't always show it, but really easy to get into. Oh, actually, sorry. Really easy to get into. You just hold this for about 2 seconds. So strobe warning, if you're sensitive, this is going to be in 1,000 lumens, and I'll only leave it for a couple seconds. So here we go. And so nice strobe mode as well. Another mode that I don't really use on a lot of flashlights, but clicking it once will get you back out of that mode into whatever mode you started in. Now, worth noting that strobe mode can't be activated until you hit that tail switch. That is kind of one of my gripes with these type of operations where you have a tail switch and then a selector, is that in order to turn it on, you have to hit that tail switch. And if you're in the momentary on, you really can't reach that selector at all to switch the modes. And even in that permanent mode, you have to switch your grip or use your other hand to select the mode. And so it's not really one hand operation. Now, usually I just leave it in the medium mode and turn it on and off there. So not the biggest deal in the world, but they are pretty far from each other in terms of operation. It would be nice to see that selector right here below the tail switch, so you turn it on and then you can select it with your thumb. I think it would just be a little bit more intuitive. But overall, I think this is a really great value at that $36 price point and has a really nice output. Did want to show off that 141,000 battery. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is a Thrunite proprietary battery, but I probably will test it out at some point with 2 stacked 14500s, but it does ship with this, so you don't have to worry about purchasing one. You can see USB-C Type-C rechargeable, and that just charges right on the battery. And not super visible, but this white ring under it lights up, and so when it's red, it's charging. It'll turn green once it's lit up. And that's really it for this one. Would love to hear your thoughts on it down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and joining the channel as a member. They all help the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.